All right, I'm about to attempt something that is either going to be really fun or really excruciating. Over the next 3 days, I'm going to be driving this brand new 2023 Tesla Model Y Performance from Georgia all the way to California over the course of 3 days. The catch is I will be pulling this 6x12 trailer filled with all my belongings. I'm trying to see if I could do it in 3 days. Should be able to do it in 3 days. I'm gonna keep y'all updated in terms of what it's like to drive across country in an EV, what it's like to drive across country in an EV with a trailer, what it's like to drive across country with an EV with a trailer in 3 days, the charging stops, the range, all that good stuff. All right, day one of the drive. We starting off. We're stopping at Oxford. It's 102 miles away. Predicting that we'll get there 26%, or at 90%. It says, let's see what it says here, 272 miles, but we know that's cap, so we're gonna go check the sheet. 161 mile range. That's over 5 miles. 184. Okay. All right. Let's see what we can do, guys. All right. First charging stop on the official road trip, and it's a pull-through. I feel blessed. Let's take a look at the stats. See what we're looking like in here. All right. Let's go to our trips. All right. So we went 104 miles. Average 592 watt hours per mile. Got here with 7% battery. We left with like 89%, something like that. Had cruise control on, 60%. Let's look at the usage here. Would have had 11 more miles. This next stretch is pretty long, so I'm gonna have to charge all the way up to 100, and we're gonna keep going. Let's go. All right, first charging stop is in Oxford, Alabama. I've never been to this part of Alabama before, but it's pretty nice where this charger is. A nice little outlet. You got a Buffalo Wild Wings, Firehouse Subs. You got an Olive Garden across the street. You got a nice Target. I just went in there to use the restroom. It's pretty nice. The only downside is version 2 charging, but you can't win them all, huh? All right, 71% charged. Projected miles, 107. That should be enough to get me to 69, 68. So let's unplug, let's rip it, let's run it, let's go. All right, made it to our next stop, charging stop over here. So the good news is it's empty and it's a version 3 charger. The bad news is there's no pull through. So, you know, it's time to have fun with this trailer. All right, so I got the trailer off, right? Nothing crazy. I used this jack, got it from Walmart, 80 bucks, up to 3 tons. Then I got a lock to lock up the safety hooks, and then I just got this little master lock thing. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty terrible, but it, you know, it'll do for now. But I almost made a costly mistake. Rule number 1 to taking off a trailer: make sure you're on an even level. This is not even. I just backed up, tried to take it off, started rolling away. Luckily, I positioned myself so it hit that curb. That curb was not there, that car would be a goner. So make sure when you're taking off that trailer, you guys are probably more experienced than me, but I almost learned a hard lesson, so now I know moving forward. Well, I got 50 minutes to charge. I'm parked across from the trailer, so I guess I just watch it for 50 minutes now. Man, I really hate for someone to run up and try to take my trailer. That would be terrible, wouldn't it? What are you gonna do, huh? So originally I was supposed to go to the Birmingham charging station, right? When I initially planned my route, whatever. When I initially now I can't even talk. When I initially planned my route, I was supposed to go to the Birmingham charging station, but it says it is out of service or under maintenance, something like that, temporary closure. So I came over to the Mountain Brook one. Again, nice area, nice little plaza going on. There's a Greenwise over here, and then I could, walk around if I wanted to, or which I won't, but at least I have options. That's always cool. But that's one thing, especially on road trips. Let's say unforeseen closures, especially when you get somewhere that only has one charger within a 60-mile radius. That unforeseen closure could be the end of it all. You know what I'm saying? So always got to keep up to date with what chargers are up and running, which chargers are down. Luckily, Tesla does a pretty good job of communicating that to their clientele. So I got lucky for sure. Man, this dude in the truck just pulled up. I thought he was trying to steal my trailer. I almost had to hop out the whip. But it's all right. He came to see his friend. Anyways, we're at 87%. So our next stop, I thought, would be Tupelo, Mississippi. Car telling me I ain't gonna make it. So I'm gonna have to stop in Cottondale, Alabama, charge up there, and then I can hit Tupelo. Man, unplanned stop. What are you gonna do? Don't want to run out of juice on the road. So we're gonna hit another stop in Alabama, then we're on our way to Mississippi. We're back on the road, still in Alabama. Honestly, I think the drive is going pretty well so far. Other than that trailer snafu that happened, whew, that was scary. But we overcame that. Now we're back on the road, trailer hooked back up. So I kind of plotted out my own route, thinking, hey, range would be cut in half. I can make it this far, this charger. But some of those stops are a little bit further out. So I'm going on a whim here, and I'm going to trust the Tesla routing, right? Because now it's trying to take me. Originally, I was going to go Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma. But now it's taking me down Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma. More charging stops, which is good. I don't have to be worried. I don't have to have that range anxiety. Take a little stress off of my old heart, So I'm going on a whim. I'm going to see what happens. It's definitely going to take longer, but I have the time, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. Plus, I can kind of just see how good the routing is. So, and see some stops, some charging stops, especially Shreveport. I didn't know they had some Tesla superchargers in Shreveport. It's been a while since I was in Louisiana last. So, gonna go trust Tesla on this one and see where they bring me. So, wish me luck. Made it to the new charger stop, right? So, we're at Cottondale right now. Luckily, it is a pull-in, so that was dope. Now we're gonna go to Meridian, Pearl, Vicksburg. So that's all in Mississippi. Fairly quick charge times on each one, but let's see what else we got. Then we got Ruston, Shreveport, some Texas, finally in Oklahoma. So we are on our way. We are finally on our way out of Alabama, and we are heading to Mississippi. First stop is gonna be Meriden, then Pearl. So we still got some driving ahead of us. Cranked up the speed a little bit, so now cruise control, adaptive cruise control is at 65, which is pretty good. saw us getting more range, so I wanted to boost the speed a little bit, see how that range holds up. We're at 94% battery right now. We're 90 miles away from the next stop. Says we should get there with over 10% battery, so we'll see. We'll see what we end up with, y'all. All right, we are in Meridian, Mississippi. We made it. Luckily, another pull-through charging station. At least that's what I made it. Yeah, I'm out in the road bad, but hey, I'm actually pretty surprised how many pull-through stations I've been at. I've only had to take off the trailer once, thankfully. So then also as it gets later, I'm sure stations will be emptier. So even if it's not a pull-through station, I should just be able to get close enough to plug in the cord. But as everybody knows, these Tesla cords, man, real short. Like even right here, stretching to its limit. So I gotta park real close. I just be scared. I don't want to break nothing or hit nothing with my trailer. So trying to be precautious, but still following the route that Tesla Maps gave me. So gonna head from Mississippi down to Louisiana through Texas. That's gonna be my next 3 states. So I'll keep y'all posted, man. All right, so this is the other thing that keeps popping up. First and foremost, kind of shows you Teslas are not universally friendly. So I'm in the middle of the South where we don't have street lights, right? Whenever you get to a real dark patch, especially with the camera only version of the Tesla, you get this notification here. It says pillar blocked, multiple cameras blocked, whatever the case may be. Nothing's blocked, it's just dark. The cameras can't see anything in the dark, so it starts complaining, saying, oh, it must be blocked. No, it's just dark. They don't believe in street lights out here. So I don't know how they're gonna fix that, but that's something that definitely has to be updated. Second thing, if you keep seeing the flickering screen, the trailer, maybe this is again unique to the camera only Teslas, but the trailer is behind me, but the camera picks it up as a car sometimes. If I'm turning, it'll pick it up as a truck. It scared me a few times because I'm turning and then all of a sudden a red truck pop up on the screen. I'm like, yo, what? And I'm like, oh, it's just the trailer. It's just catching the glimpse of the back of the trailer. So yeah, definitely been an interesting experience. We are in Pearl, Mississippi. Excuse the wind. It's windy. Looks like it's starting to rain a little bit, a little drizzle coming down, but we're here. Another semi pull-in. You feel me? I'm out in the road with it, but nobody's here. It's late. So I said, I'm just gonna pull in and do what's easiest for me. So, going pretty well. Stopping so often is definitely killing my vibe, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Learning a lot, enjoying a lot, seeing a lot. So this is a short charge stop until I'm on to my next destination. So won't take up too much time. Let's keep moving. Oh, side note, this place is bare. Like the other places were cool. And I mean, it is near like an outlet, but the outlets are so far. I'm trying to throw out my trash. There's no trash cans out here. All right, it says 5 minutes remaining on charge, but over here it says I should get there with like 17% battery. I'm feeling good. I'm just going under 60. Well, I'm going at 60 on cruise control. Been getting there above the estimated targets, so I think I'm about to plug out 58%. I hope for the best, you know. It's only a 40-minute drive. So I think I'm gonna head out, get there at a lower state of charge, really fire up that charger so I can make it to Louisiana. 40 minutes later, we're in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Another pull-in station, but this one definitely was challenging my skills driving the trailer. I tried to get this in here about 3 different ways, but I finally got it. It ain't pretty, but it's in there. So I'm gonna charge like 40 minutes, then I have a long stretch because I'm going straight to Louisiana from here. So take a little nappy nap, let it charge up, about 40 minutes, get up. unplug, and then hit the road again. But we kind of got our groove going now. I love nights. I am a night person, so nighttime driving is kind of my thing. So it was raining a little bit. I think you saw some flashes of lightning, but hopefully that passes soon and we're just able to hit the road. So let's go. All right, y'all. So we've been on the road for about 13 hours. All right, this is our trip. Not even 500 miles yet. Total is like 2,300, 2,200 miles. So imagine that. We haven't even hit 25% of the trip yet. We've been on the road for 13 hours. So that's the big downside to trying to go anywhere far distance with the EV. You gotta slow down to get the most range. You gotta stop to charge. Charging take anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes depending. My case is a little different because I'm towing. I'll stop at a very low percentage and charge all the way up to almost 100 just to make sure I can make it to my next destination. But if you don't have anything that you're pulling, if you just have a EV, you can stop, charge up real quick, just enough to make it to the next one with a low battery, so then you charge up at the next stop fairly quickly. But we chunking at it, taking it bit by bit. We still moving, so let's keep going. All right, we're at 95% charge. This is what I'll be talking about, right? So battery says we're gonna make it over to Louisiana with 8%, only going 104 miles. So major downside, stopping every 100 miles. Hey, but this is all for the love of the game. All right, made it to Monroe, Louisiana. I go outside, but it's raining, it's lightning. It's much safer in here. So got here about 30%. I'm gonna charge up. It doesn't say yet how much battery I'll have, so that's kind of a telltale sign. I'm gonna have to charge this thing all the way up to get to my next destination. This one was not a pull-in charger, so I kind of just finessed my way as close as possible with the trailer. Luckily it's late at night, nobody's here, so nobody should be getting upset at me. And then I kind of just plugged it in. I'll show y'all real quick. Oh yeah. So just plugged it in real quick. Got pretty close. Look at all these available chargers. You love to see it. But yeah, it's thunder, there's lightning, all that going on. So I'm in the car, take a little nap, and then hit the road again. I just want to start this off by saying windshield wipers on auto is stupid. So I'm turning it off. Anyways, I charged up at the last stop, got on the street, started heading towards Shreveport. GPS was like, oh, by the way, you're not going to make it. So it made me stop in Ruston to charge up, talking about 12 minutes. And then I could head to Shreveport. This is probably the most annoying part. The range estimate just keeps changing as you drive, which is a good thing because adapts to your driving style, learns. But my driving style hasn't necessarily changed. It's more just like the terrain, going uphill rather than downhill. It's been raining, things like that. So things that are just out of my control that make the car less efficient. So I thought I was gonna have just one straight shot to Shreveport, but I'm gonna stop and charge up here. I'm gonna go over the recommended amount just to make sure I can make it, so I don't have to stop again. Get to Shreveport, charge up, and then we're headed to Texas. So this stop is not a pull-through charger either. Luckily, once again, no one's here, so I was able to just pull up as close as possible, get the car charging. So I guess my biggest thing, right, especially with the automatic route adjustments, is, I could ignore it and just keep going, right? I could just keep going to the next spot. But then if I run out of charge, that's on me, right? So I guess, is it better to be precautious and make that extra stop and charge up a little bit to get to the next place? Because even right now, it's telling me, 12 minutes till charge to get to Shreveport at 4%. But it was saying that before at 4%. So do I listen to the first time, like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to keep going and what happens, happens? Or do I keep taking the precautious route? I guess we'll see. Finally made to Shreveport. Got here at 9%. I think it was closer to 6%, but I plugged in the charger, so now it's up to 10%. Got an hour to charge, version 2 charger. No pull through, so I just pulled up next to the spot again. See it over here, completely empty. One guy was here, he just left, but it's also like 4:30 in the morning, so I don't blame him, but better for me. So charge up here, and then I'm headed to Texas. So looking at the trip, 637 miles covered. So not a whole lot of distance, still a whole lot ahead of me, but for the first day, I think that's pretty good. All right, we are finally in Texas. Another pull through. I don't know if I'm getting better at getting into these parking spaces, but I feel like I'm not. But you'll be the judge of that. But I'm in there. So finally in Texas. We're going to be in Texas for a while. We're going through the middle of Texas. So we're going through Dallas. Yeah, it's going to be a long day in Texas. And then we'll be in New Mexico. So day one is officially over almost. I probably have about 2 more hours before I spend a full 24 hours. I mean, I'm still on track to be there in 3 days, so I think I'm doing pretty well. As you see, it is a lot easier to road trip in a gas car, especially one that can pull a trailer, but this has been a fun experience in itself, so I can't complain too much. Man, this car mount has been a godsend for just holding my phone, getting a dual map set up, watching shows, whatever the case may be. But definitely am glad I went out and grabbed it. Has made this drive a lot easier. You wouldn't think it'd be that impactful because it's just a small accessory, but it's actually very helpful. So I appreciate that. Anyways, let's go back to the trip stats here. So we're about 743 miles into the drive, 504 kilowatt hours total energy, average energy 678 watt hours a mile. So we're doing exactly what we thought we'd be doing, burning through this battery like there's no tomorrow. But hey, we're about a third of the way now, so that's in less than 24 hours. Arguably, we'd be a lot further in the same amount of time in a gas vehicle. But, hey, what are you gonna do? All right, I'm almost at 100%, about to get back on the road. But this is like sussing me out a little bit. So, my next stop is Arlington. At 100%, 99%, let's call it what it is. I'm supposed to get there at 6%. I've been coming in a little above expectations, but yeah, this is pretty low. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to reroute me or try to bring me another way, but I'm gonna keep moving. Feel me? I'm on a roll. This whole day is pretty much just gonna be Texas, like Texas, 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 Texas. Then finally, early in the morning, I get into New Mexico. So today's the Texas day. Bro, by far, the worst part about this drive isn't even the multiple stops. It isn't waiting at the charging stations. Like, the worst part for me personally is the fact that I be getting smoked on the road. Like, I gotta drive 55 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour. I don't think I've driven faster than 65 miles an hour on adaptive cruise control. It's always been like 55 or 60. And the speed limit on these roads are 70. So that means people are going 80, 85. So I'm in my lane going 55, 60, and people just shoot, shoot, shoot. Swear people looking at me funny, old people passing me, flipping me off. Like, I just feel so slow. That's my rant for today. Y'all be blessed. All right, we are in Arlington, Texas. Stopping for a supercharger session. As you can see, chargers are full and there's no pull-throughs, so I took off the trailer right here, just got it locked up and lifted, and then I went and parked over there. Problem is, this is a version 2 supercharger, so as you can see, there are no open spaces. I had one open space. This person right here is about to take that space. That means we're gonna have to power share and split the power. So I'm gonna be here for a while trying to get this charge, because I have to charge up to 100%. I pulled in at like 7%. Yeah, that's why version 3 is just better. You get 250 kilowatts compared to 150, and there is no power sharing. So this is probably gonna be one of my longer charging stops. So this is pretty cool too. So the charging station is across the street from AT&T Stadium over there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. So it's cool, but there's no food. There's no food around here. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do for the next hour and where I could get something to eat, because I am hungry. But nice view. So if you see here, these are all the charging stops I have left. They also list them right here, but this is a better visual over here. About 12 stops left. Now, as you can see, some of these stops say 35 minutes, some of them say 20, others say an hour, right? So let's say average is 30 minutes. That means I got 6 hours left of just charging, right, to stop and charge. If I gotta take the trailer off, that's even longer. And then I still have to drive to these places. So I still got a full day ahead of me. So pretty much this pull-through station is all the way at the end over here, right? So as you can see, my trailer is not really positioned in the best way. That's typically because I would have preferred to come from here so I could turn in, have the trailer over here, and then just pull straight in. Makes it easier to get out. But when I first pulled in, there's a white car right there, and there's a truck parked next to it. If I park like this, I was gonna block him in. At least this way, the white car can come out. So I kind of like got in there, surveyed the situation. I was like, oh, there's no way I could stay parked like this. Backed all the way up, very slow and painstakingly, waited for the truck guy to leave, pulled back in, tried to get as close as possible, but the trailer is still positioned weird. And I finally did it, but it took me like 20 minutes just to back up, wait, pull back in. On the bright side, got some free Powerade. All right, we are in Sweetwater, Texas. Pulled in with like 6% battery left. Talking about 35 minutes of charging. Probably will just wait till it says I have 20% left, because it is very bad at estimating. So no pull-through charger. Had to take the trailer off over there and back up into one of these chargers. There's also version 1. It's gonna be a lot of version 1 charging from here on out, unfortunately. But luckily it's getting later, so charging should be open. And then eventually I won't have to take the trailer off at all. I could just drive up into the spot and block it. So, having a great time. All right, I am in Midland, Texas. Another supercharger, no pull through, regular degular stop, but it's next to a travel stop. Next to Love's, next to this nice little motel. I'm about to run into Love's, use the restroom, get some water, you feel me, refresh, while we wait 40 minutes for this thing to charge. All right, just made it to Van Horn, Texas. Charging stop, version 2 charger, no pull-throughs, unfortunately. But luckily for me, nobody's here. I don't have to take off the trailer. I did have to get real creative though, get close enough to plug it in, drove over this curb. But you gotta do what you gotta do, all right? All right, we got 55 minutes to charge. Then we're on our way to El Paso. Then we're gonna be in New Mexico, then Arizona. So we got some driving ahead of us. Started day 3 officially in about, what, 3-4 hours. So we're on track to get there in 3 days still. Should be good. All right, getting ready for what is going to be our longest stretch of the trip. It's trying to get us to go 131 miles, saying that I'll have 5% battery left I'm at 99, absolutely pushed it to the max. So we're gonna see. Definitely gonna drop my speed just to be on the safe side. It's probably not gonna take me 2 hours to get there. It's probably gonna take me more time because of that, but as long as we get there. All right, so we just got started and it's already looking kind of sus, not gonna lie. So when I started driving, it immediately tried to reroute me, but it told me to turn around, go back to the charger I just left, charge some more, then leave. But I was already at 99%, right? So that really wasn't gonna help me. So I'm at 55, I'm on cruise control right now. It says I should get there with 4% battery, 121 miles left to go. But now I'm like, man, I just drop it to 50. You can't really see it right now, unfortunately, but the speed limit is 80 and I'm driving 55, right? There's gotta be a minimum speed limit on this highway, and I feel like I'm near it. Definitely near it. So yeah, I gotta prioritize my range and getting to my destination safely over speed. So if I do have to drop it to 50, I will. But is that just something I gotta do now, or something that I should do worst case? So I ultimately decided to drop my speed a little bit. So I went from 55 to 52, so not quite 50. But now my average usage watt hours per mile is in the 400s. My projected range is 160, and I need to go about 112 miles. So should definitely get there safely. Slow and steady wins the race. But dropping the speed now rather than later, just to make sure I have that cushion, just in case anything happens, like I run into traffic, or now it's stop and go, or tries to take me off the route, whatever the case may be. Just giving myself a little wiggle room in case of an emergency. All right, so I'm at 49% battery, 51 miles to go. So I'm more than halfway there, but I'm just at half battery, so we're looking good. I ultimately decided to take off trailer mode, stay in the right lane, put on the autopilot just to stay centered in the lane, go 52 miles an hour. This is kind of my burn right now. This is over the last 5 miles. Let's look at a better sheet. Let's go at the last 30. So right up at 500 watt hours per mile. I'm getting there, you know. Sun's starting to come out. Gonna get a little light in the sky. I gotta do more testing though, see, you know, when trailer mode is off, what does that mean specifically for the trailer? Like, do the lights still work when you put your indicator on? I mean, I see there's power to the trailer, but do the lights and indicators still work, or whatever the case may be? And then the lane centering still works pretty good. You do have a little extra swing when you have those merging lanes, because the cameras kind of pick those lines up further apart, so it's trying to center you between a wider margin of space, but the trailer swings a little bit back and forth. But in these lanes, like right here, it's pretty good. Don't even have my hands on the steering wheel right now. I've been keeping my hands on it though. It just keeps you centered, so as long as you're going straight, it's all right. But 50 miles, probably another hour driving, and then we'll be in El Paso. That's our last Texas stop, and then we're on our way to New Mexico. All right, the sun is officially out. We're still on our way to El Paso. So I ultimately decided to go with the 52 miles an hour adaptive cruise control. I actually turned off trailer mode so I could use the basic autopilot, which just lane centers, makes driving a little bit easier. I'm not sure how that affects the trailer. Like, power is still getting to the trailer, but I wonder if like the indicators and everything still works. The newest Teslas don't have radars, so I think typically if you have an older Tesla, if you're not in trailer mode, your radar would be going off because the trailer's right behind you, but I don't have to deal with that, so that's cool. The added benefit of being able to use autopilot made this drive a lot easier, and also helped me keep that kilowatt hour rate down a little bit. So now it's showing that I am 31 miles away. I'm gonna arrive with 15% compared to what it say. I was gonna get there like 4%, 3%, something like that. So dropping to 52 miles an hour definitely helped. It took me a lot longer to get here, but that's all right. Oh, I'm getting a call. All right, we finally made it to El Paso. Wow. This is officially day 3, 48 hours have passed. Only 2 states stand between me and California, New Mexico and Arizona. All right, back on the open road. We are at 88% charge. Next stop is 86 miles away. So I'm at cruise control. 60 should be good. Speed limit is 60, so I'm finally able to go the speed limit. But no, we're about to leave Texas, go into New Mexico. Some beautiful views, some nice mountains, clear skies. So we're gonna keep going. Only 2 more states till we reach California. Let's go. All right, we are in New Mexico. I've been here for a little minute, just getting charged. People are leaving. No pull through, so I made it pull through for me. I'm blocking 4 spots, technically 3 because I'm actually using 1. But after this, we have our second longest drive to undertake. Let's go in the car, check it out. All right, so it says we have 5 minutes remaining to charge. We're at 88%. We have to drive 134 miles over to Wilcox, Arizona supercharger. Saying we get there at 9%, but you know, this is based on my recent driving. So I was cruise control at 60. Because it's a longer distance, I'll probably drop it back down to 55 just to be safe, just to make sure we get there. Because right now, it's saying, it says I have enough to make it, right? But my projected range is only 124 miles, 112 miles based on the 15 mile consumption. So I'll probably get it to 90. I just like round numbers, zeros. I'll get it to 90 and head out. This right here is just the definition of making it work for you. First Arizona truck stop. They just pull through stations. So I just kind of try to pull up as close as possible. I'm really stretching that to the further extent. This one is kind of tough because there's a car behind me right there. And then there's a car over here. So I kind of just get in where I could fit in. Taking up 4 spots again, 3 because I'm using 1. But there's another charger on that side, and then there's an open charger on the other side of this white car. So, you know, if 2 people show up, we're good. If 3 people show up, they're gonna have to wait. We're in Arizona now. Arizona is the big stretch today, and then we get into California. So we're in Wilcox, Arizona. We're gonna go into Tucson. We're going to Buckeye, Quartzsite, then we're in Indio. So 8 hours till we get to California. 4 charging stops. So I think we'll be good, making good time. All right, we are in Tucson, Arizona. And guess what? our first pull-in charger in a while. Yeah, my tail is out there, but somebody was in this spot beforehand and they pulled out kind of crazy, so I just slid in right behind them. So like 25 minutes charge up, then we'll be moving on to our next spot. Other thing I was just talking about, man, there's nowhere that has this, right? We're back in the plaza, we're back in civilization, so it's good. I love it. All right, another big stretch coming up, going from Tucson to Buckeye, Arizona. 134 miles. I'm at 80%, so I'll get there at 2%. Probably gonna charge up to like 95%. Give me the extra wiggle room. Same kind of logic, like 50, 55 mile per hour cruise control. Make sure I get there with some battery to spare. Should be a nice, good stretch, so. Y'all had a little too much dip on my chip, so I'm definitely rerouting now. So initially I was supposed to go like 133 miles. Got about 30 minutes in, they were like, hey, but you ain't gonna make it. So now I'm going to Glendale, and even now I'm saying, you know, I should arrive with 6%. Even then it's kind of cutting it close. See, my speed is set at 52 again, trying to be precautious, but it led me astray. Tesla map said, oh, don't worry, bro, you're good. You're gonna make it. 20 minutes in, he said, I lied, you're not gonna make it. Go stop somewhere. So that's what I'm doing now. And then we still have to go to Quartzsite after, which is interesting. So I'm gonna go to Glendale, then we're gonna go to Quartzsite. And then after that, I think we go straight to Indio. So in some traffic now. This is like the first instance of me being in traffic this whole drive over the last 3 days, so I can't really complain too much. People don't know how to drive, apparently. A lot of police activity, ambulances. So I think it's a crash, but hey, what are you gonna do? All right, now this officially has gotten annoying. So I got rerouted to a charging station, right, in Glendale. Driving, it's like, oh, actually, you know what? You're not gonna make that one either. So you need to turn around, go back to Phoenix, and charge there. So I pull up to this Phoenix one. It's at the mall. Definitely no pull-through stations, but it's a mall. So I gotta find a nice empty row, park my trailer, and now my car is charging all the way over there. What are you gonna do, man? At least I'm almost there, but this is definitely annoying. Like, I'm gonna charge my car to 100%. And I'm just gonna keep going. It's gonna have to keep going, man. All right, now it got me going. So I've been here for a little while, 79%. Changed my route completely. So before I was going to like Quartzsite, then to Indio, then to Corona. Now it's talking about go to Buckeye, then Ironburg, then Palm Springs, then go to Corona. They just don't want me to get home. This is getting crazy. All right, I charged and left. I'm heading to Quartzsite, Arizona now. Originally supposed to be 137 miles, saying that I have 86 miles left. Should arrive at 8%. Got cruise control on 50. You know, I decided to just drop the speed and let it rip. So I was getting tired of taking the trailer off, putting the trailer on. That last small stop really got me, because why would they do that? Why would they do that, you know? And this is kind of why I tried to plan my stops out before in advance, so I know I wasn't going to any crowded area. I'd have space with the trailer, all that. So kind of just so when you're using Tesla's map on a whim, you don't really have that foresight. You kind of just left up to chance, unless you look it up, say on your phone, on maps, look at the area, say, all right, I don't want to go there, I do want to go there. But then if you're in a pinch, there's no choice. Like, it's either go there and charge or run out of battery and walk. So I'd rather do the former than the latter. But anyways, we're back on the road. 2 more stops. After Quartzsite is Indio, California. I'll be back in California. So let's go. Let's wrap this thing up. All right. This is it right here. This is our second to last stop of the trip. We are in Quartzsite, Arizona at the supercharging station. And it's pretty nice. There's a lot of chargers out here. These are the V3s freshly installed. Over there are the V2s getting no love. I pulled over there originally. I was looking at it and I was like, oh, no. Let me go over here because these look nicer, newer, better maintained. So they do have a pull-in spot over there, but for some reason, this man is in the spot. So, you know, once again, I just made my own little pull-in spot happen over here. Also very isolated. Like you got a Carl's Jr. over here, closed, nobody in there. Doesn't look like they do business. And that's it. Like you're right next to the highway, which is cool because it's easy on and off ramp. But other than that, nothing really out here. So, yeah. Next stop's Indio, California. We'll be back in California. It's about 100 miles away. So this is what I'm thinking. Hold on, let's go take a look real quick. All right, so for my last trip over here, pretty much I was in Phoenix and it wanted me to stop somewhere to get charged again, then come to Quartzsite. But I just decided to come straight here. I dropped my speed. It was terrible. I was driving like 47 miles an hour. But I got here with like 6% to spare. Here you see my average usage is 473 watt hours per mile, which really helped me get the range I needed to make it over here. But now, you know, my next stop is what, 100 miles away, something like that. 117 miles. I don't want to be driving 47 miles an hour again, right? And over here it's talking about 25 minutes remaining to continue trip. But at this point we know that's cap, right? Maybe if I didn't have the trailer it would be, you know, but the trailer is draining my battery like crazy. So I think I'm just gonna sit here and try to get as much juice as possible. Man, I'm tired of driving slow. I'm tired of spending all this extra time on the road because I can't go as fast as the speed limit. Like I'm going 10, 15, 20 miles under the speed limit just to avoid the drain. This last stretch had some incline to it as well. Let's see. Let's look at our consumption. I wonder if it says anything about that. Drive. Elevation. Oh, look, it doesn't say. It says it went down. Or plus 0.4. I don't know. Felt like more than that to me. But over here says consumed 89%, 6.2% more than trip projection. At this point, I'm like, man, this is day 3. Your numbers should be down tight now. Projection should be like 6.2% margin of error. That's not bad, but that's not good either. So, I'd love to see under a 5% margin of error. You know, that would make me feel good. But oh man, who am I? You know, just another guy. But yeah, just driving, as you see, eats up a lot. Conditioning a little bit. Climate. I mean, I haven't really been going hard on the air or anything like that. It's 64 degrees outside. It's pretty nice, so I feel like I haven't really needed it, but we're on the final stretch here. One more stop to charge, and then we're homebound. All right, so we are now officially back in California. So look at the time here. It's 12:08 a.m. Sunday, March 19th. We left on Thursday, would be equivalent to 8 a.m. Pacific time. We left around 11 a.m. Eastern. So that gives us a nice little total drive of 64, 65 hours right there. Got an hour left until we got our last charging station before we pack in for the night. So let's finish this one up. Let's finish strong. We're back in the West Coast, the best coast, California. We made it. Okay, so fun fact I just learned about over here. Shout out my boy Quincy for putting me on game. So this exit right here is called Desert Center. We're coming up on it right now. Apparently, this is like a haunted ghost town in California. So a lot of good history here if you're into that. I don't like ghosts. I don't play with ghosts. I don't mess with ghosts. So I will not be going down there. But hey, if that's you, go check it out. We're here in Indio, California. Our final stop on our 3-day road trip. Looks like they got some new charging stations coming out, huh? These are all still wrapped up. Look nice and new. I wonder if they'll have the adapter on it. Can't really tell right now. But there's a lot of chargers. All pretty wrapped up. Right now, they got chargers down there, real limited stations. I think it's only like 7 or 8 of them over there. The version 2, definitely power sharing. So these got to be the new V3 chargers. I wonder if I have some adapters, you know, for those non-Tesla folks. I guess we'll see. Can't really tell through here, but it's good to see that they're adding new ones. Oh, I got some uncovered down here. Let's check them out. I don't know if these are... Yeah, these look old. Got the caution tape on them. Yeah. Yeah, these look like old ones. 350. Caution tape must mean do not use. Man, I wish I could use it. I'm down there power sharing. Give me that version 3. Let me get up out of here. Call it a night. Well, another in a mall, shopping plaza. Everything's closed right now, which is too sad because I'm hungry. I want to get some food, so could have to figure it out. Sure. Yes, let me get out of here before I get in trouble. All right, so morning after arriving to California successfully. Just wanted to go over the trip stats here. So look at trip A. That's the total travel for Georgia to California. So went over 2,200 miles, almost 2,300 miles. Total energy, 1,300 kilowatt hours. Average energy, 611 watt hours per mile. After so much needed rest, we unpacked the Tesla and we are officially in California for good. So finally got some time just to recap and think back on the trip. So overall, the trip did take the full 3 days. I think I came in like 3 or 4 hours shy of the 72-hour mark. So I was able to make it. Full disclosure, I did not rest that much on the trip. So because we were charging for so long, I would take naps for the 40 minutes or hour that we were driving. I would take naps for the 40 minutes to an hour that we would have to charge. I'd get up and keep going. So I didn't really stop and get like a 6 hours rest, anything like that. I just kept driving the whole time, unless I was charging, and I'd nap, and that was sufficient enough for me. Do I recommend it? No. Do I recommend you towing across country with an EV in the first place? Absolutely not. That's just me. But the biggest thing is, one,
you just lose so much battery, you lose so much range when you have a trailer. And I was only pulling a 6x12 trailer, so imagine trying to pull something bigger, heavier. Your range gets cut down drastically. I think also, even without the trailer, I realized that Tesla overestimates their range on their vehicles a ton. So you might say, hey, I got a Model Y Performance, supposed to get 303 miles. You really only be getting 250, 260. And it's tough, you know? It's tough, especially when you only charge 80%. But in this case, I had to charge 100% because I knew I was going to be pulling the trailer. And then even then, you know, I was expecting to get like half the range because I'm pulling something or I'm towing something. But even then, you might not even make it 100 miles or 120 miles unless you really drop the speed. So it's tough for sure. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't do it again personally. It was more of me being in dire straits, I think, having to get to California, relocate. I had to get all my stuff with me. So this was my most cost-effective option, as well as the most time efficient, rather than renting a truck or hiring movers or whatever the case may be. So, and I also thought it would be a nice learning experience too, just to see what the Tesla would be capable of. So I definitely learned a lot. Definitely experienced a lot. But all in all, I'd say if I was going to do it again, definitely would use a gas vehicle if I needed to tow anything, especially long range. And even just road trips in general, I think I would still prefer to use a gas vehicle over my Tesla, just because, you know, I have a 2016 Volkswagen Jetta named Stella, and she gets 400 miles to the gallon, and we can make it all the way somewhere without having to stop. And before we leave, we go get some gas and turn around, come back. And then if we do have to stop, you get gas. It's like, you know, 5-10 minutes max if you have to use the restroom or get something to eat. But usually I just rip and go, you know. If I have to pull in somewhere, pull in with like a quarter tank, fill back up, keep going. So it's definitely different for me personally, having to stop and wait 30 minutes, wait 20 minutes, then keep going. And sometimes it's even longer. That's on the shorter end. But overall, it was a great learning experience. Not great on my body, not great on my sleeping habits, sleeping rhythm, but I'm here in California, so we got the job done. Appreciate y'all watching. I also apologize for the format. I know it's all over the place. In the future, I will record everything in horizontal mode, or what do they call that? Landscape mode. There we go. Figured it out. But appreciate y'all. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.